Welcome back to Creasonomics with your host, Mr. Gray. As I always say, I'm glad to be back for you guys. Today, we're going to jump right into it as we normally do. And today, we're doing a review of the Air Max 1 Kiss of Death, or as it's probably been abbreviated, K.O.D. So, of course, most of us know that the original Kiss of Death came out in 2006, and there are quite a few differences between the 2006 version and the 2021 version. Although it still is pretty magnificent and almost identical. But before we jump into the shoe, this box, yeah, okay. I know you can't wear your box, but I still like semi fall in love with a nice box anytime we're given the opportunity to have one. So as you can see, we got, let's see, it's almost like a sticker. You have a graphic. Wait, hold on. You have a graphic right there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sadly, I've been trying to figure out what it says, and I still can't figure it out. I don't actually think that's Chinese, but for anybody that does know, feel free to tell me. I have no idea what it says. At times like this, though, I do wish I was Chinese so I could read the lettering on the box because I have no idea what it says. But there's Chinese lettering on the box. A lot of little details on the box, as you can see. Even those, you got those symbols right there going around the corners, both sides of the box there. You have the Clot logo right there. Then you have the Clot and Nike symbol right there. So they did not put a ton into the box, but I like any small detail. To me, it all matters. The colors are, I don't even know how that's a color. Color, net, deep red, orange blaze. Very, very interesting. And okay, a couple more things about the box. And then after we get into the box, we're going to go ahead and jump over into the light box, I believe, so I can give you guys a little bit more detailed look at the shoe. First of all, you have the wax paper, which is actually has the Clot logo on it and symbolism there, the same that you kind of see on the box. And then also you have how can we say this? You have a Chinese lettering and English lettering version of numbered of all the different pressure points in the book right there on the inside of the box. For those of you that are into acupuncture, I've never been acupunctured, but I imagine it may help people. I don't know. I personally feel like these are all great touches into the sneaker. Woo, she's sexy. We're gonna go ahead and jump on into the light box, guys. So see you over there. Alright guys, so into the light box as promised. They are still sexy in the light, in the dark, regardless of how you call it. These are actually really beautiful. So let's start off with one interesting thing. I would have bought these some time ago before release, but I truly had a hard time dealing with this. This right here. I had a hard time with the see-through shoe. I love the shoe. God, I would have loved it without this, but I understand that's what makes it nostalgic, connecting to the original release in 2006. But I didn't want to pay so much for it to not 100% want that, but to get it for retail was a whole nother story. So I'm kind of glad I did not buy it in advance and end up paying resale, because I was fortunate to get it at retail. So anyway, let's just jump into the details of this beautiful shoe that I was lucky to be blessed with. So let's start with, first, it's just beautiful. It's definitely a quality shoe. As you can see, it's got that nice tan suede all over it. That's pretty much the majority of the colorway covering the shoe. You got that fox that fox snake skin swoosh right there, and then you got that leather heel back there, and then you got that kind of that ostrich. Like, what are we gonna say? That ostrich skin or alligator? I don't know. I'm gonna stick with ostrich skin at the top of the heel there. But I guess most importantly, I really want to kind of highlight the differences between this shoe and its original. Never seen one of these in a Nike before. Anyway, I want to highlight the difference between this and the original. So One of the differences you notice more immediately will be the heel. So the original shoe, the heel was actually in full was an orange color, kind of like the orange you see on the stitching there. This is in reverse. So this is the heel is majority red, kind of like a blood red, and then instead of being the symbol being red, here the symbol's the orange. That's one of the major differences between this and the 2006 version that came out. The other things you can notice, the insoles of the shoe on the original shoe are different too. I actually forgot what it looks like. I don't own it, so of course there should be a picture right now that you can see what the original looked like. But the insoles are different from the original 2006 release. But then the more noticeable, or the second more noticeable, and maybe you did notice. I actually didn't notice before I got it in hand. The original didn't have the holes on the toe box. It was just close. It was just one full plastic piece there, and that caused a lot of discoloring for many. You know, if you were wearing it with your toes out, your feet gonna breathe a little bit, sweat a little bit, and it's gonna discolor that a lot. But now you can get some air going in there for you foot sweaters. But either way, I think that's gonna help your foot breathe a little bit better if you decide, if you either have some really humid feet or if it's just really hot where you live. One of the other major differences, which most people won't notice unless they're looking at the bottom of the shoe, is on the original shoe you actually have a picture of the foot, but it's more like it's more of a realistic foot, and it doesn't have what this one has. So here you have more of a graphical foot, and you have the acupuncture points actually literally not written out, but they're carved out in their different sections, and they're numbered as was labeled on the inner part of the box, which is pretty cool in that, pretty much on that gel outsole there. On the inside, like I said, these are the times I wish I could could read Japanese or Chinese. I'm gonna go with Chinese. Don't judge me, guys. I'm not well versed as I wish I was. But because then I'd be able to read some of the symbols to you. So let's get this out of here, because there's one. Lord, I think it's gonna kill me. Get out! You mess it up. My review, you piece of paper. You will not have the glory. All right, there we go. So let's see if we get a little bit more detailed in there. Look at that. Oh, see? So I'm just be honest with you. A lot of times when I review, I want my first review of a shoe to actually just be as real as possible. So I'm gonna be 100%. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I try not to look at the shoe too much, so I have original reactions. So I had no idea there was a whole leg on the insole. So right there, you got a whole leg, and I guess it's interesting. I just like, it's just a real artistic shoe. Clot is always coming up with something. I tell you, they got their logo under the tongue here, within that what I'm gonna call it mint green or jade. I think it's more known, and in Asian circles, if I said that correctly, forgive me, guys, if I did not. Once again, I guess I'll just go into details again. On the upper collar surrounding the back to the side of the shoe, you have that what I'm going to call ostrich leather. And one thing I can't show you here, but the heel on these is actually reflective. So if you were in the dark and some light flashed on the back of the shoe, it would actually it'll actually shine out. But other than that, this is pretty much it is pretty identical to, from a distance. The only true difference from a distance, and not a long distance, from 5 feet away, the only true difference in this shoe is the heel. Other than that, it's practically the same as the 2006 version, and it actually is really beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, and this may be a slap in the face for those who love it. I wouldn't mind not having that see-through part, but I feel like that's part of what makes it so majestic. Additionally, I think that also highlights what's inside the shoe, the writing and such, which of course, if my foot's in there, you will not see it. So in essence, I would have liked to have two versions of this shoe. one that was not clear and one that is clear. Anyway, moving along. I don't make shoes, so I'm not going to go into that. Regardless, this is a fire Air Max. I love this Air Max 1. I would buy it again, but I'm glad I got it. Either way, you can see, and lastly, before I close out, you can see it has the tan laces that are laced in it. Of course, I never switch out laces, but you do have the option of red laces. So that's what you got. Guys, if you were lucky enough to get this, I'm happy for you. If you weren't, I'm sorry. But the resale on these is really not that bad. I haven't really been watching it. I think it's about $250, maybe lower, maybe a little bit higher, but not bad compared to what we see when it comes to dunks. So if this is something you've really been wanting to pull the trigger on, although I'm going to say the price is going to go up over time. It may still drop a little bit, maybe in a 20-30 range or so, but I feel like in a year, these will be over 300. And of course, as years go by, they just go up and up. This is a really nice, I'm going to call it a retro, an Air Max 1 retro. I really love it. It's a good throwback. And I just want to say, Clot, once again, you have killed it. So, guys, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I just want to say, guys, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I drop new videos. And I just want to thank you for tuning in. Mr. Gray out.